So this is just an old wooden plane. I don't even know if it has, nope, no metal on it anymore. So in today's video, we're going to take some non-traditional items and make them into Christmas decor. But it's just a beautiful storyteller of an old piece of wood. Don't you just love that rusty crusty? So I thought, the theory of us DIYer crafters, if it's got a hole, you put a tree in it. So I have one of the Dollar Tree trees, which I love the green ones. I love the airy of them this year. They may still be available, but I am going to take it off its base to put it in there. Usually pretty simple to take off. Look at that, is already super cute, but you know me, I can't just do that. So we're going to bring it into the Christmas season. I've got this 25. Look at that. So we could put that 25 right underneath there. So I'm going to glue my 25 on first, and this is just an old cow tag, but all year long I'm looking for the 25 number, and at this spot my friend Diane helped me out when she got a grouping of cow tags. And that'll give a little bit more base to be able to glue that tree on. And then it'll leave us a little bit of room to put some more decor on. I don't know what's in this tree. Little stringies, but we'll take care of that. So now I'm just going to put a little glue around that corner. The whole of that. And then we'll just stick the tree in there. Then I could put a Santa, but I have this sweet little mouse that's just peeking over, and I thought, oh my gosh, he would be so cute tucked in there. You can tuck him right in there, and then he's peering. Oh my gosh, I could not help myself when I was looking through my stash. So I'm just going to do a little bit of hot glue just to hold the little guy in place. I got to work with his tail a little bit. And then I have this little bitty book. I think it's like a little Bible, but I thought that would be cute, just kind of set. I don't really want to glue that in. The rest of it was kind of be forgiving with the hot glue, but I thought it would be cute, just set back, and then maybe some ribbon wrapped around. I never seem to know when enough is enough, but this spot is kind of flat, so I thought it would be super cute, just like attaching these little old ornament bells to it. So I'm going to take off the original hanger. I don't know what they came on. That's how they came to me in my stash. Find where they're going to touch to put some hot glue. Gotta kind of work fast because I might have to move it around if it doesn't quite work. And I feel like I want to wrap some ribbon. So I have this little lace will pop, and then I have, even though I started two of the velvet black ribbons, so I thought it would be easier just to see, like, okay, how much of the Dollar Tree ribbon is left. Oh, there we go. It doesn't always have to be their traditional colors. I like it trundling. I don't know. I like it touching in front of it. Just my thing. Now I have this brush. Nothing terribly fancy, right? It's just a brush. It's in good shape, but for those who know, like, you can stick things into the bristles of the brush. Okay, to add to this, I have this Reagan House. I have this little Reagan House sheep, reproduction putz sheep, but you can tell that the little legs have been re-glued. These are a little bit on the wiggly side, so I wasn't really secure, like, getting it to stand, like, see, it won't stand on its own. However, the person glued them back together. So this is perfect, y'all, to do this. We can weave it into those little bristles. It's still top heavy, but at least it'll stand, like the bristles are helping this poor little critter stand. See, we can do a Christmas tree. So I'm going to take this off the base and see if just this itself, the wire itself, will help stand in there or not. And that'll be much too long, so I'll have to cut a little bit of it off, straighten it out, and then see if we can get that to stick in the wire. That we can. I don't know. I might look to see if I have another smaller one. Is that too big? I don't know. With the size of him, I don't know if you want something terribly small, but let me look. See, maybe this one would be a little bit better. It's okay. It's okay to change your mind in the middle of a project. Once you know, you know. It would just seem a little bit too tall next to that. So I'm going to cut some of the excess wire off. There, yeah, it's not terrible. It's still, I'm probably going to have to glue it in to get the sheep to stay where I want it to stay, but yeah, the smaller tree's better. So we're going to see how this all works. A little bit of hot glue on those hooves. A little talk and a prayer to get it in there. I have to go back and clean the excess off once it's cooled off the bristles, but wait so that it doesn't break. And then I will put some hot glue on this stem very carefully. My hot glue is running a little bit on the hot side right now. And then we'll glue that right into place. And I have a little 25. So I'm hoping to make that work. And if it's too tall, I will cut it down. As you can tell, it's already been cut. And then I have this star if I needed to back it to make it pop. Yeah, so let me take my snips. Nope, the bolt cutters didn't want to work, so we'll just use these other snips. You know how we are. It's amazing what we will come up with when we want to fit something in there. There we go. The star backing it. Do I need to cut it down more? Oh, I like the star, so I'll have to turn it and look myself. Nope, I think that piece still needs to come off altogether. Oh, cute. And this rusty star that I'm sure that I took off a wreath because I'm known for doing that. The hot glue. And then I have a little bit of this velvet ribbon. Not a complete match, but I think that'll be pretty. I'm probably going to put a little bit of glue because this is very slidey. A couple of the spots. Leave myself enough to be able to tie it. Kind of pull it tight while it's cooling off there. A little bit of a bow. So I just got this coffee tin and I just could not stand myself. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's amazing. It's got the green. It is an old coffee tin. Something must have went there. Oh, just everything about it. Somebody repaired it with some wire. So we're going to leave that as it comes. Now I've already filled it up with some floral foam from the Dollar Tree, and you can see I left a little spot right there because I got a Santa. And Santa's kind of perfect because he's got a little head problem going on. His head's a little loose. His head's a little loose. So I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue. You know, these little guys are old, so, and then I'm going to see if I can get him to be happy and be upright. I think that now holds his head. So he's kind of perfect to put in this. Oh, look how cute he's already. He's like got his sidearm going on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some greenery and some other yummies in here. A few different greenery pieces, but to get the fullness, to not use so many, I love to separate them. Okay, so Santa's in there, and I'm just going to start adding. You definitely could use trees if you wanted to. This is just what I'm going to do to really get them backed. Kind of intertwine it. And if it goes into the floral foam, it goes into the floral foam. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. You're just making a tight little package. So the more you stuff in, the more it's not going to come out. Well, unless you really want to make it come out, but let's not do that. I'm going to go back through because one of the greenery stems has the world's fakiest pine cones, and then one has good pine cones. I don't know why they put plastic pine cones on them. Not necessarily my jam when pine cones are so readily available in our area anyway. I mean, we know this is fake greenery, you know. So there's that. But and then they have this little plastic thing. I just take off what I don't want. It's supposed to look like another sprout. Sometimes I forget some, but I try my best. So I want this, I guess it's okay hanging down too, because it's all the way down. And then I could put a ribbon on it. I was going to try to put it in the upward position, but I think it's fine that way. I think it's cool and I don't want to remove it. Now I have some of the mercury glass stems. They're beads. So I'm going to see if I can weave them in here. That will match the gold at the front. See if we can talk to them nice, see how many I need to use. This is the grand, the finale, we shop for this all year long. Things that don't make sense when you're buying them in the middle of August, February. And then you never know how many you're going to need. Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can put some beads hanging down, just a little bit more pop of the gold. Now these are not mercury beads. These are just old Christmas decorations. Sometimes you have to have the weight in the middle because they are actually heavier than you think, right? Don't want to cut anything off until I'm sure, you know, what I would like them to be. See how like the weight makes them like, hey, come out, come out. But I don't really want to put a ribbon on here because I don't want you to cover up that yummy saying. So you still see the coffee and the whatnot, but yeah, just something like that. Good. So I will cut off in between. Stick that in there, and then the weight of it will keep it in there. They're off of like old floral arrangements. They are a little bit worse for wear. Usually. Sometimes you're lucky enough to get them in really good shape, but I'm still trying to pop my colors in here. So I think I'm going to start adding, maybe I'll find the really goldy ones that haven't lost their paint. There we go. See, it just needed some bigger pieces, but I love like the shiny of this time of year. It draws your eye, you know, like, oh, shiny. Oh, there we go. That it needed some bigger balls. Yeah, that's the word I'm using. It needed some bigger ornaments. And I hoard on these probably way more than I probably should with the 25 register tags. But this is their time. Oh. I don't know. A viewer sent me these sweetest little socks that are faded. And I kind of thought about attaching them right there. They still had the little safety pin that they were. So I thought, can I attach it to his sleeve? I think I played with it enough that I got them to stay. You can see the Merry Christmas. So what about a little metal box? It's nice and heavy. It's got a cute knob on it. I have one of these trees that I used and I put in a doorknob last year. I used it in my own decor, but this year I changed my theme every year. Looks like it needs a little haircut here. So it's nice because this is heavy and then this is heavy. So that will weight that down. Because I have this look at this sweet little Santa. Oh my gosh, he's so sweet. A little bit different than the one. They have his beard underneath his belt. That's how it came. So I want to add that to this. But I also have another one that didn't. I don't know if it came out of the knob or what, but I have two of the same trees. So I like the thought of putting like that way that one can be shorter and one can be taller. And then putting Santa in there with them. I do have a little piece of bell. This is some old bell. It's just a piece. I don't know where the rest of everything is, but I love the thought of adding that somehow in here. I kind of wanted to add one of the red little mini books. I was searching through to see if I had any with like Christmas, but I did not. I have a child's garden, so I thought that would be a good backer. There again, I'm just putting it in there, talking to it nice. You see, then that way it backs Santa without having to put another tree necessarily behind him. And then it kind of still holding everything in there nice and tight. I think I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue. I kind of want Santa to be holding the bells. The nice thing about hot glue is you can get it off. I feel like the book is just like wasted. You're not seeing it. It's not necessarily as tall as I'd like it to be. I do have an empty ornament box that I think would be a nice, if I can. Nice thing about bottle brush trees is they're squishable. Probably more than we'd all want them to be, but I kind of thought like that would be a little bit better behind him. And then it says the Merry Christmas. But I was trying to think like what could, like, should I just put some paper in there? I don't have a whole bunch of little bulbs. You just kind of take what you can get as the emptiness. Okay, I got into my box of stuff. And I think just like maybe just that, maybe. Or I have some brown. Just something to cover up the holes, I think would work nice. Not draw your eye towards them. I'm just going to guesstimate. Who doesn't have a tote full of random? Right? Do we not have a tote full of random? There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine once I get it cut down. It's the silliest thing sometimes. Okay, so let's see how we can get that to fit in there. Yeah, I like that little, I mean, it's not as tall, you know, like you just kind of got to play with it and hope for the best. So I am liking all of that. And I do have a couple like keys to bring that element of rust in there. I could just put a couple keys. These are big old keys. So like put one way, one the other way. Okay, we'll see how this works because I got to work over the knob, but I do like the thought of putting some ribbon on here. And then I have these little marquee numbers of 2 and 5 with a clip. So let's see if I can figure this out. Cut that off. Lay that forward. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue just to hold it in place. Definitely something about velvet ribbon this time of year. I'll try to pull that tight. I know we're covering up a lot of the box, but we know that it's here. And I'm not going to make a ribbon or anything. My little tassels will be the marquee numbers. So now I think if I make a slit, I'm definitely not going to take that off now that I have everything in there. Make a little slit. And then work it around. Hopefully I cut in the right place, right? I did, yay! And then, yeah, so then we'll do that. All my stuff's probably gonna start falling out, but I'll get it back here in a second. Yep, I told you. Oh, my stuff's, I'm surprised it stayed that long. And then I'll fold that over. Put some more hot glue. Yeah, I was chancing that I was playing with everything too much. Okay, we got to start back. Okay, Santa or trees. Santa. A key. I don't know. There's something about having both the keys in there. I have them going the right way, right? I absolutely love styling these flat spools. Have you all got a hold of any of them yet? They are perfect for cloches. Of course, you got to find the right cloche. So constantly looking. So look at, everything's always better under a cloche. These two go together. I just by happen, you know, it's the season. So we want to really bling thing up, have this little pan. And so look at, we made it even better just with 3 items or 2 items. So I want to add a Santa. I have this waxed Santa, but with him being brown, he hides. So I've had him for a while, and then I'm like, you know what? I have DIY's white dust, like the decrepit dust. And I thought, why not use that on him to brighten him up? I need to do some clear wax. So I'm just going to test out my back area here. I think this will work out just fine. So I've got some wax on them. And now I'm just going to add some of the white dust. Get it into all those crevices. And I may not have even needed the wax. But set everything off the side. Let me dump some of that off my towel. And now we're just going to rub some of it off. We're still slightly drying, but I do think now you can see that a little bit better. I know there's a reflection off my light. Then I do have some bottle brush trees. Then of course, you know, a little grouping, and then the snow, little set of 3. I think we're still fitting. That's awesome. Then to pop a little bit of color, I have this ribbon that I bought off Amazon. I like that it's tattered, and it'll be perfect to wrap around here. And can you have too many towel berries? I felt like that needed a pop, but I didn't want to put like an ornament or anything. But we're just going to set it around that bow. Okay, sometimes you get it all together and you're like, I don't know, maybe now I made it too white, but it needed that. So I'm going to go back in with some of the decrepit dust. And then just here and there, add some to it. But yeah, the white is popping that. Tobacco can, a little tobacco, pipe cigarette tobacco. It is red and it has green on it, so screaming Christmas. Actually, I would like a little bit more age on it, but I'll take what I can get. Rusty crusty grater, and we're going to add it into here to make a little Christmas, to wrap it around. Yeah, which ones do I need it to be? Yeah, I do need it over one more. There we go. Pull it through towards the bottom to hold it in place. And we'll put a ribbon to hide it, but I'm just going to keep twisting it until it's nice and tight. There. Now it's not going to move, then I'll just cut the excess off. Again, cut the excess off, right? And then I'm going to bend those over so it doesn't hurt anybody. Walmart had very nice stems this year. They're real pine cones. And so I should be able to put that inside here, take off their tag, and then see if how much I need to cut off, because I want it to go down farther. But I also want it to be nice and tight. So sometimes you got to talk to it nicely. See? The tighter you get, you don't have to glue anything together. That's always my theory, right? Oh, I think I'm going to use some of this ribbon, because like my velvet and my other colors, my moss this year wasn't really matching up. So we can scrunch this. This is going to go around the whole thing. And when we get into this part, because we want to cover up the wire that we had to put there to hold it. It wasn't going to magically hold itself, and I don't know if hot glue is going to be, enough. And then that way we can actually kind of hide the cigarette. This is wired, but I want to make sure my end is good. Push that down. I always end up cutting way too much, but it's so hard. You need to be able to work with it, and I like it to trail, so I don't want to cut it all the way off. So we have some of these candy canes. Just make them go different directions. See, it's amazing. Even though it's nice and tight, you can still get some more in there. I may have a whole box of, because I really love the red and white stripe stuff. Then we could do like a couple little candies. We could hot glue those on there. I love this little pack that I got from Amazon, because you're able to have different sizes and then add it on there. They whisper softly to me, I have no. So thank you so much for hanging with me as I worked on some non-traditional items to make into Christmas decor. I think they're so super cute. I mean, just using the Christmas colors of red and green definitely makes it pop. And then just adding some items in just to give it, I like that shiny. There's something about the glistening, the shiny that just really makes things stand out this year. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and you can see what I'm creating. Bye.